From Famine Studios, coming at you live Tuesday, May the 20th, day the 20th, seltzer time, grapefruit, let's boogie. How's everybody doing? I want to work on some stuff that's been clogging up my bench. Little fixes, possibly some paint on figures, adding some Graveleys to stuff. So that's what we're going to do today. Appreciate you guys being here. I see Ian popped in early, Bjorn popped in. Not a pile of shame. No, I'm just considering it a bench warmer because it's like, it's there, it's taking up some space. I'm not ashamed about it, but it's warming the place. Your face is a pile of clogged bench. What's up, Red? So, I've been working on this Gravely. I say Gravely, it's like a panel. But I want it to go, thinking under here. So I've got it kind of mostly done. I do want to do a couple of washes, paint some details. I think we'll start with that. I think that's a good way to go. I'm also going to turn the goddamn heat off in this room because I had to turn the heat on earlier today because it was freezy here. It was actually 30-something when I woke up this morning, which is not what you want to wake up to in May unless you fell asleep like in the freezer or you're camping in the Adirondacks, which is about 100 and... I wouldn't even say 100 miles. I'd say like 60 miles north of here. And they're like fucking famous mountains. So it was not pleasant. It was very cold and I'm a bit of a bitch. So I put on my jacket and I had a long sleeve shirt on earlier. I grabbed this one to throw this on because I wanted a t-shirt to paint in. And yeah, now it's hot in here. So I'm going to turn that heat off. But yeah, I'm ready to both rock and roll. So I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll too. And also, I want to thank my patrons. I see a couple of you guys are already here. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. You can check that out, patreon.com/FamineStudiosX. And what's going on? I'm just griping about the weather. Don't mind me. Make sure I turn that off and not up. There's something horrible. Something horrible might happen if I did that. Whew. Bjorn said, "Sup, loser," and I immediately thought, Dad? Dad, is that you? Are you here? Unresolved issues. Let's see. Let me get a sanding stick here. The world famous sanding stick. Old man Famine bitching about the weather. You got it, buddy. And our weather has been so bizarre, is the word I'm going to use. Our local weather station actually pointed out a fact that I'm sure a lot of it, that's cat hair all over my fucking... Anyway, the Weather Channel, our local news station, told us and explained, what a lot of us already knew, is that we have not had a single 2-day dry spell on a weekend since November. It has rained or snowed once a weekend since November of last year. You cannot convince me that climate change isn't real. I don't. It's bananas, but I've got some wild beard flare sticking out. Like it just grab it. It's this one right here, right? Yeah, it's that's where it is now. That actually might be a cat hair tangled in there because Snowflake, I had to pick her up and carry her out of here because she, again, helped herself because she was like, "This used to be my room, bitch." And I'm like, "I know, but it's not anymore." And then, you know, she keeps letting herself in and crying at the door and then tricks Dad as soon as he has the good sense to open the door. She shoots in. So I put down a blanket on the floor. And I said, "Here you go, buddy. You can hang out down there." You know where she wanted to hang out? Up there. I said, "No, we're not doing that." Nope. So I had to scoop her up and carry her out of here. I tried to make it a snowflake friendly environment. But she unfortunately just wasn't with the program, so she had to go hang out in the living room. And I'll just put another Greebly on this bad boy for fun. Because that's what Greeblies are for, right? Greeblies are for fun. And I will tilt the camera, but I mean, mustache is looking pretty good. Pretty good. I don't necessarily want to rob you of that just yet, but this is what we're working on right now. I'm just loading this up with some Greeblies. We'll slap some detail paint and wash on there and call it good. Probably attach it, and then I want to work on my pirate that I've kind of had floating between the table and the bench. Just, you know, I want to get this space pirate kind of wrapped up. Utah Dawn has been putting out banger after banger after banger, and I won't have it, all right? I'm not... It's not even a competition at this point. I feel like he's just like the bully that's, you know, punching you in the head after he's won the fight. Stop it, he's dead already. Ralph Wiggum. I feel like that's me. I'm kidding. Don is great. Nobody tell him that I said that. Let's see. What else we got for Greeblies on the table? You know, you guys know him as Utah Don, but I've known him as Don from Utah. That's not a true statement. I just made that up. Don't ever listen to me. Do we have any weird Greeblies that Famine can use before I move on? Nope, that's another blaster. I could get Greeblies out of the box, but like I do this thing, and I'm sure some of you guys are like guilty parties. Well, I say guilty parties. You guys are probably like me a little bit, where you also will grab something and be like, hey, that is, hats off, just the neatest thing. And I'm going to use that. And then you set it down because you're like, yes, I'm going to use this thing. And then you start a little collection of things you're going to use. And before you know it, you haven't used any of those things, but you've got a pile of them. So, like this. This is my weird little... It's a sardine can or a anchovy can, whatever. Because I don't know the difference between sardines and anchovies, we found out. That's actually a true statement I didn't know. You'd think 10 years in culinary, cooking in restaurants and learning and working with chefs who graduated the Culinary Institute of America, things like that, and having my own restaurant for a hot minute, things like that, I would have known what a anchovy is versus a sardine, but they're both just fucking salty fish that I want nothing to do with on their own, and so I never committed that to memory, but apparently they're different things. So I needed a sardine can, but instead I got a can of anchovies. This might work. That's not Greebly-like, but it's industrial-like. Who knows what it could be for rigging or something, so we'll use that. And we'll use this. I'll give you a shiny quarter. I'll mail you a quarter, an actual quarter, if before the end of the stream, you can tell me what this Greebly comes from. I will give you a good damn look at it. I'm thinking maybe one of you guys can think of it and know what it is, but I would be very impressed if you knew what it was and what it's from. All right, so let's get some... I don't want to use that. I'm saving that for something. So we've got that to apply and that to apply there. Do I have any more super glue? Famine, you've had since like 5 o'clock when work was over to get this stuff done. Well, you know, I had some heavy anxiety, and I stopped what I was doing, and I went and I took a rest with the cats, just chilled out, centered myself, and then I had to move some furniture out to the road for the garbage company to pick it up. So I did that, and then I sat in the dark and sang covers of songs that nobody ever wants to hear me sing covers of, and that was what I did before this. So it is not a plastic washer from a pipe fitting. You're in the right universe, but not the right department. You could, in theory, obtain this item from whence that came, from a hardware store. So you're like a quarter of the way there. I like where your head's at. I want to see where the rest of it goes. I am curious. I will be surprised and impressed, truly impressed, if somebody figures out what it is. I guess we can still use the high temp hot glue. No one says that I can't, right? Right. So we'll just do a small dot here, 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 here. Is that perfectly straight? No, but neither am I. So, you know, let's see. Washer from an air, water pressure, toy gun. No, it is not. Your head's in the right place in that sense of, I'm not going to use that piece, of what, you're probably warmer than Ant is. Yeah. I guess we'll put this Greebly right here. And asymmetry, because what is Star Wars and science fiction if not asymmetry? I don't know, Famine. Why don't you tell us what it is? Well, you know, fuck you. How about that? Oh, that's right. I made a little container out of lids. I know Bjorn is like the lid guy, makes a lot of stuff out of lids. I don't use it for world building. I just make goofy shit like this. Like I just found something that fit. It is not a sprinkler system distribution cap. I feel like I'm ripping off Pirates gimmick there where they have the Greebly of the week, but I feel like this is a good one to make you guys guess on during this episode, and we'll see if you can hit as to what it is. Like I said, I think one of you guys may be on the money and get it, but I will be surprised and impressed if somebody tells me what it is and they're just like, fucking wha-bam! Mother's diaphragm, and that's why we have a famine? No, God, no. Jesus Christ. No power washer either. Ugh. Ugh. Don't you put that, don't, those words in that sentence should not go together. Jesus Christ. All right. Holy shit. That's what I'm saying. Laugh it up, fuzzball. Oh, you'll appreciate this. I was hanging out with some new friends over by my girlfriend's house, and a couple of guys were working on something, and the one of them was just letting up a string of obscenities trying to fix a fence, and just in the middle of it, he goes, "I don't care what you smell, get down there." And then he kept going, and finally he stopped, and I'm like, did you just quote Han Solo? He goes, yeah, and then just goes back to what he was doing. I was like, that's awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciated that. That was good stuff. That was a fun little discovery. Ooh, that'll go there. That'll look neat, right? Right? Yeah, Famine. Just stick it in there. Spit on it first. There we go. Nope. Stupid hot glue. That's also my fault. Yeah, I did not abrade that surface, which is still a very smooth surface, so let me just abrade that right now. Let me give it some tooth and some purchase so that the hot glue may stick to it. Then we can go from there. Laughing next to Meg. Ugh. And then you probably had to explain to her the filth that just came out of your mouth. Also, cannot recommend this hot glue gun enough by Gorilla Glue. Or, not by Gorilla Glue. Wow, Famine. Surebonder. I do run the... What's up, Audi? I do run the Gorilla glue sticks through that. But I accidentally left this on for the... it's going to sound macabre. I accidentally left this on for the week that my grandmother had passed and forgot all about it. So it got all gummed up and junked, and I thought it was no good. I thought it was ruined, but I did some tinkering, and I was able to extrude all the filthy... That's exactly what he did. My God. Hi, Meg. I was able to extrude all the filthy burned glue that had chunked this thing up and get it running again, no problem. So Surebonder gets my vote. I also love a cordless hot glue gun. It's the tits. Highly recommend. Can't say enough good things about that. Yeah, I've done that too, and I don't recommend it. That is it's on a charging dock, so it's kind of self-limiting on how hot it can get and for how long. But just because I left it there for a week on and didn't realize it, I thought for sure the thing was ruined, and it wasn't, so that's super, super cool. I'm glad it was not ruined, and I was able to clear that up with just a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of work. And now I, again, have a working hot glue gun, and it's cordless, and I don't need to worry about replacing it. So, again, I say hats off to the Surebonder company for that. And I do run Gorilla glue sticks in it. I know Surebonder has some glue sticks. I just haven't used them because I purchase my Gorilla glue sticks in bulk. I started using them when I was doing cosplay, and I kept purchasing them because they do a really good job. So, real quick, let's slap a couple of different types of weathering and washes on here, and we'll be ready to stick that up into the top of the thing, out of the way. Yeah, and then we'll be able to go on with the more stuff. Do more space things with Space Pirate Guy. There, yeah. I'm truly surprised that no one has guessed what that is. Or known, not even guessed, but like known, because it's a if you know thing. You guys are supposed to be in this field. You're supposed to know these things. Jeez Louise, guys. Little scrap cloth. Nope, not from a Nerf gun. I can tell you it's not from a toy. And I can also tell you, you do have to be 18 or older to purchase this item, but it is not an adult item. You don't have to be 18 to use it, you just have to be 18 to buy it. I'm going to use this as my paint palette. Let's do this first. Famine, why is there no music tonight? Why is there no music every night, bud? Because I didn't play any. I just want to dirty this up. Because it's very smooth. As I said, I did not abrade it. But I do want it to look a little bit older, a little bit lived in, a little bit McClunky. And it's from a bong. No, it is not from a bong. Nitrous cracker washer. No. And no, it is not a part of a pew-pew. I'll go ahead and say it. This is actually more regulated in some states than pew-pews are, the item of which that is. Which may have actually been a dead giveaway. And it is not a form of birth control, in case anybody was going to jump at that one next. Oxygen tank? No. No. Oxygen tank. Valve? No, 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 no. And I'm just using matte black from the War Paints line. Oh, quick question. Excuse me. When the fuck did we stop spelling the word matte with an E at the end on paints? Because matte black sounds like an FBI agent in an old TV show. Like, matte black, FBI. And I've noticed that in a lot of companies, they've gone to matte without the E. I'm curious. It's backwards. Well, you know, it's the word matte, M-A-T-T, black. Is it not matte, M-A-T-T-E? Am I bananas? Because I swear I purchased spray paint, and I've purchased cans and pots and little containers of paint that when something is matte, there's an E. Jet Black's brother. See? There. There. There's an E at the end. Ha! All right, I'm not... Maybe I am crazy, but not for that. Matte paper. See, you know what's up. Like, I feel like I'm bananas. Like I've been deceived or tricked. Like the universe was just like, Mandela effect, this fucker. It's always been and forever matte. Yeah, there's an E on the end. I don't know why these companies have all gone to matte. Again, it might be backwards, but it is matte, M-A-T-T. Like, that's somebody's name. That's not a descriptor. Matte sealer right now? Yeah, okay. Antique, New England. Shun the non-believer. Shun. Krylon matte. Okay, so it's not... Yeah, we are constantly being gaslit in this world. You're not wrong. And it's like I'm gaslighting you right now because I've already said what the greebly is, and none of you caught that. And I love that for me. Some dude named Matt took the E off those labels. Well, then Matt needs to step up and take ownership of the crime that he has performed. Because I don't like it. Matt, wherever you are. If that's your real name, which I doubt. All right. That's a maybe later attachment. I'd like to use super glue for that. Just thinking, is there anything else I want to put on here? All right, so let's get some more color on there then. I'm done doing the color black. I want to use a brown because it is a, what do we say here? Sarah, well, you say matte and matte. Like, it's got a matte finish, but hey, there's matte. Like, I've said before, like, oh, hey, matte, but I've never been like, this picture frame is matte. I know I sound like a crazy person right now. In the words of Simon in Firefly, just this is what going mad must feel like. Like, go ahead and put some more brown on there. Slap that right on. Dirty up this caution stripe. Put some around here, because that is a you know, where we're going to be putting it. Exhaust fumes may get around it there. Industrial solvents and stuff burning off of ships as they come in and out. So we'll just put some cool brown. I say cool. It's actually a very warm brown. You know what I'm trying to say. The color brown in a few spots. And it just adds to how it photographs. Get out of there, cat hair. Again, Snowflake. Love her to death. The best cat in the world. My heart of hearts. Furry. Just absolute fur everywhere. Take some off of this here. Let's be fun. Let's put a little olive gray on here. And Ant gets the shiny coin. It is a collar that sits underneath the spray cap of spray paint cans, specific to one brand of spray paint cans. It's designed for them, and it prevents anybody in the store from spritzing the can, or when it's shipped, it getting bumped, because they ship them without caps on them. It just comes with a nozzle. And I save them because they make great Greeblies for like 1-to-1 props, like full-size props. But also, looks pretty neat on this thing. It comes on the Montana brand of paints, by the way. So like Montana Gold and Montana Black, those two brands of paint are under one brand, but it's under the same umbrella. So congratulations. Did you Google that, or did you, yeah, you got to call him Matt with one T. That's like, that's his entire existence. Like Madison with a Y, but not where you think it is. Okay, and then we're going to go with, yes. Nope, no Google, only Zool. We'll never hold spirits. Too many spirits. Terrible looking ecto containment unit. I mean, it could be part of a containment unit, but I feel like it's just like some type of fucking air filter because it's got the vent there and this thing. I don't know. I just work here. Put that around there. Make it look like some shit rust. Something on here rusted. We don't know quite what it is, but eventually we'll figure it out. In the meantime, it still runs. Ain't nobody complaining about the third legs that they're growing. Clean the space grease out of it. I'm not climbing underneath there to clean it up. Maybe, I don't know. I'll find somebody to clean it. Oop, that's too much. Oh my God, there's so much there. It's gonna be a mess, guys. Add some more. Adding some rusty coloration. Put a little in there. But they make they make great cheek greeblies for Mando helmets and other helmets like that. Also, cheek greebly could be the Glupshido of Gimmick. That could be a character's name who's just the big Glupshido for Gimmick Starport. Oh, your favorite character's fucking Famine's version of Anakin Skywalker that he's done? Or is Obi-Wan Kenobi? Oh, yeah, you wouldn't like mine. You wouldn't know. Mine's unique. It's really a Glupshido. It's cheek greebly. Literal monkey covered in grease. Watchman, this to avoid painting cards. Watching this to paint your guardsmen. Get them painted. No, I didn't go to the Rad Toys school of naming things because Rad is like chicken sandwich, and then fucking poor Josh is stuck with things named like chicken sandwich and steak and potatoes and things like that. Old Famine did not go to school there. Cheek Greebly sounds like a Star Wars name. That absolutely sounds like a Glupshido. See, now it's starting to look good on camera, which is what I want. Also, these glow in the fucking dark. Yeah, that's right, your boy. He's got a roll of glow in the dark, heavy duty tape that's going to go on some landing pads. But I wanted to test it on this, so I put 2 pieces on there. Just get a little character on, give it a little character. There we go. And then for squirts and giggles, let's put a little purple on here. I'm feeling it. What's the name of that Blink-182 song? Oh boy, if this isn't... No, it is Blink-182. The hook is basically, I'm feeling this, da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm feeling this, da-da-da-da-da-da. Place your hand in mine, smile fades in the sun. I fucking can't remember which song that is. I know that's a Blink-182 song. I just don't know what song it is. Just a couple of weird spots with some purple. That purple didn't take well at all. You didn't come here for American Idol. Well, that's a shame because we have Carson Daly as the host and we have Simon Cowell, astronaut, world famous astronaut Katy Perry, and fucking what's that country singer that nobody really likes? We all have to pretend that we like him. Christ, what's his name? He's married to Gwen Stefani. All the countries. Hey man, I like me some old school country music, but this shit that country singers do today is garbage. It's fucking hot trash. Blake Shelton, there you go. I don't. American Idol. K-Top, are we cheap around here? Blake Shelton, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, team. Distinguished panels of judges. Dominican K-Topper. I want to agree they're funny, but also knowing just like the expense of AI and the just shit being taken from artists to build those things up, even if they're not country singers, their stuff can be sampled and programmed in. I find it all exhausting because you can never tell what's real, what's created by, an actual funny creator. Otherwise, it's just somebody's like, hey, make a country song, but make it about gay. And, make it so that it makes country guys uncomfortable, but also kind of like weirdly besmirches gay people if they're worried about that sort of things. I don't know. I feel ways. Because any song about just, it's not gay if I do it with a bro on a Friday night after I drink beer, hilarious. Don't get me wrong. I'm not that stiff. I think that's fucking funny because there's plenty of people out there who are like that where, oh, I'm not gay, and then you get a couple of beers into them and they're in the bathroom, giving mouth kisses to the fellas. And that's fine. Live your truth, but also don't say that you're not the thing that you are. Like, don't be ashamed of what you are. Famine does have opinions. Yeah, the future of art is like this, but also like now there's AI programs that create a drawing time lapse of the thing that you programmed into AI being created off of previous people's stuff. So it looks like a time lapse of somebody hand drawing this thing or creating this piece of artwork on the computer. And it's like, you're an asshole. Whoever invented that is truly an asshole. Like, that's some sinister shit. Like, we'll do this AI so well that you'll have to scrutinize beyond a shadow of a doubt, not even appreciating any of the artwork that's there or may not be there, to find out if it was actually made by a human hand or if somebody programmed the AI system to say, hey, also give me a thing, and they spit it out, and people are like, wow, you're talented. Because anytime I hear somebody claim that they're an AI artist, no, you're not. There's no such thing. Yeah. Terminator is truly a thing. I haven't seen Dark Fate yet. Roger. AI has ruined my furry side art. Yeah, no, I don't disbelieve that either. I have a friend of mine who does personas for people, makes little computer graphic things, and they like hand draw them and create the symmetry and stuff, and you can watch them do it. But it's like now someone's just like, oh, I want to be create me a fursona of a raccoon with a BBL and big titties, and the computer spits it out and it's kind of passable, and then they mess around with it a little bit and put an Instagram filter over it, and everyone's like, wow, that's that's amazing. It's not amazing. It's just a thing that you didn't do. Let's see how this is looking on the camera. I feel like it should have some sort of signage on it, like a warning sign or something. Do I have more caution signage than that? Do I make you Randy, baby? Ow, painter signed. I don't necessarily think that's true. There should be no pizza. It's a grapefruit. I don't necessarily think that the comparison of actually doing the work to like capture an image and develop it was, and I could be wrong, I've been wrong before, but I've not seen that comparison. I've seen it in digital photography versus SLR film photography, where I was a film photography student, but also I came in right on the cusp of digital photography, and Site C will remember my very shitty Jurassic Park dioramas that I would take pictures of outside in the front yard and try and tell diorama stories with the school's digital camera, and it was like 3.4 megapixel camera, and these pictures were atrocious, but it was like right on the cusp of that becoming a huge thing. Oh man, that takes me back. Guess we'll put a little sticker here. It looks like some type of computer screen. And the rub is, I don't slight somebody. The thing is, it's like, okay, AI will sample this, that, the third thing, and then put it all together and create an image and blah, blah, blah. I don't slight someone who cuts up magazine photos and does collage artworks, because there's still the human element in it. You're still creating something, whereas there's no, for lack of a better word, there's no soul, there's no human element to what you're doing. You're just doing it for the sake of being like, hoi hoi, look what I can do, without developing any skills of my own. And, oh, telling this computer what to do is a skill. No, it's not. It's not. You can pretend. I'm not defending your ex's collage art. I'm defending your collage art when you send me those weird letters that says you have my family and that I should pay you money. Right? That's just an art project, right? All right, I'm going to tack this. I'm going to set this aside before I tack it up there. But I'm happy with that. That just looks like something you would look up at and see maybe in an airport or whatever, and I can add, as I said, I've got hoses and stuff. I can glue them later and have them going to other things, so that's groovy. We got ourselves a dope panel, and this was a insert tray, in case anybody was wondering. An insert tray that came in a box. I can't remember what the fuck it was for, but it was this. The thing sat there, and that sat there, and I was just like, poof, cool. So, yeah. Insert tray. Spray painted it black, and then just greave-lead it up, added some things to it. This greave-lead came from Diorama Creations. This is an HO scale piece of girder. This was a guard piece on a little plastic thing that was hot, and so it needed air, and that was how they did it. That greave-lead, again, was a restriction collar for a spray paint can, Montana can, so that they don't depress because there's no lid. This was off of a, what's the phrase? Oh Christ, it's like the National Geographic the Chat May trucks that come with the National Geographic toys. That was part of the like a roof rack on one of them. And that was a cover off of a car battery, negative connection, some stickers, wooden circle round pieces of roll cage, yeah. And I see that you said you sculpt in Blender and then 3D print the heads. See, again, but you're, like, yeah, I get that the human element, you might feel like the human element is sculpted out, but you're doing it, right? Like, you also could, if you needed to or wanted to, use clay. You could use monster clay to sculpt whatever you needed, and you make your mold and then cast it, and then to me, AI isn't a tool because you're not doing anything with it. You're not making a thing. You're telling something else to confiscate others' work and compile it and mash it, compress it, do whatever it needs to do to make this one thing that you can't or won't take the time to do yourself. That's how it is. That's where I stand on it. But yeah, there's that guy right there. And again, I take existing things. This is 80% bullshit and garbage, trash, and I've turned it into something. And you know, I could scan this, or I could take photos on this scale here and know that this is, you know, 7 3/4 by 9.5, and then whip it up in Blender, make it to all the measurements, and then 3D print this, right? Yeah, no, I feel you there. But like, you know, you could then generate this in a 3D print program, and I can now have you print this out at home, and you could have one, or so-and-so could have one. Like, that's rad. That's using a tool, because you're still making something, you're tangibly doing something, you're taking an art piece and making basically a duplicate that somebody else can then take and do. But it's like AI is literally scraping everyone's work, compressing it into that thing that you want, and if it's not just so, sit there and fine-tune it with more words because you're like, oh, you know, I feel like it should have more blue, so re-render the same, all that garbage. But yeah, that's done. Shazam! All right, so this cat, I want to heat his legs, and I'll tell you why. I want to heat his leggies up and pop them off. I want to heat these up, and these are cuffs from a they're cuffs from this set from the Vitruvian Hacks for boots, and I want to try and slip those over these kind of tiny ankles because they're way more piratey. I think I might have to do some cutting and moving, but I won't know until I get the legs off. So I'm gonna grab my handy dandy hair dryer here, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute you guys so I can heat these leggies up and see if I can pop them off. So I'm also gonna pop that out of there and get his limbs out of the way, because I don't want those to pop off or anything. I don't want to over warm everything else. And oh, you think I should do a hot water bath instead of the hair dryer? That means I gotta stand up, I gotta go heat up a cup of water in the microwave. It is not. It's Plo Koon that I've kit bashed. I'm gonna go boil some water in the microwave. I'm gonna be back in a second. Site C, I'm gonna need you to entertain the crowd. Using the chef of the future, the thing that these kids call a microwave. And that's heating up some water for me. And then I'm going to use that there water to soften up the plastic on these here figures, all right? And I've switched to cherry lime. Chef Mike is on the case. Perfect. Stilt beast. Better to be a stilt beast than a strong beast. Although I gotta be honest, being a strong beast would be really fucking cool. Bonus points if you know what a strong beast is. And yeah, his vibroblade will be silver. And I'm thinking I'm going to use the holster from the Acolyte, one of the characters has. And I think that'd be pretty dope. Because honestly, that's what a lot of pirate scabbards are. It's like literally a piece of leather with a strap. Sometimes there's a sheath, sometimes there's not. But it's a vibroblade pirate sword. You know what I'm trying to spit out. Ooh wee! Thanks, Chef Mike. You're the best.
Anything for you, babe.
Now I know some of you guys are gonna question why I have a actual Denny's Diner cup. You know, don't you worry about that. There you go, buddy. Just like Wilson Phillips, just hold on. Hold on for one more day. Throw the boots in there too, the boot covers. I gotta fucking fish them out now. I'm gonna burn the shit out of myself. You guys, that's what you guys came here for, is to watch me hurt myself. No, this was a free cup with good service. Bitch, I got a little tiny hook. I'll get him out. This was for, they had a sale where they were selling Denny's cups, but they weren't the actual Denny's cups. They were special. I got tweezers too, bitch. But they weren't the actual Denny's cups that were on the advertisement. They were these like thinner at-home version. And I said to my server, I was like, could I, what would it take for me to purchase a cup and then just have my cup? And she's like, well, I'll put the cup on the bill and then I'll bring a box. And then whatever cup you wind up with is whatever cup you wind up with. So I tipped her an extra $5 for the effort. It was really good. Let's see here. Oh God. Hey. The water off of there. Let's see here. Fish one of these goddamn things out. Here I go. Are they left and right marked? I don't know. I just work here. Gonna be honest with you, boys. There's a thing in there. So what do I gotta pop the foot off? Son of a bitch. Why don't you lead with that? Fam, just take the shoe off instead of the whole leg. Well, you know, we didn't want it to be too easy for you. Thanks, team. Appreciate you. No, that is not it either. What am I doing? Okay. You should remove... You guys are the best. Really appreciate the after the fact knowledge. Yeah, I feel like there's a ring inside that's preventing these from going forward any further, if that makes sense. So I'm wondering what I've got to do to get that shoe back on. Do I need to cut these or more heat? Must be hotter. You must be fucking hotter. God damn it. Do y'all not hear me burn my fingies? And you know, put his little leggies back on, not upside down though. What's going on here? Or just scalpel it out. See, I was gonna... Son of a bitch. I was gonna scalp. I said... Did I not say, should I just cut these? Nah, you motherfuckers. I always feel like Denzel. Like, okay. All right. Come on, bitch. Cutting, cutting. Cutting away the ring. I actually think this is how they did it in the Bible. Let's see. Bjorn, were you bullshitting me when you said that you did this? Oh. I have to cut them out. Heat the feet. The feet, the problem is not so much the feet, it's the fact that these things do not fit the... Okay. Ouch. There we go. At least from where I'm standing. That appears to be the issue, is that they're not slipping up as high on the leg as I want them to. Nope. Just over here, removing material to try and make the two things fit that are not designed to fit together. Okay, it should work. Okay, back into the beverage with you. Let's get your partner out of there. Start whittling away on him. Ooh, that's the good one. Just got the links nor beyond. Meat without feet. Bjorn is the keymaster. There's an idea. Bjorn has the links that you seek. Come on, Lenore. Right, that kicks back there. Called worse by nicer people. What are we seeing? Bitch. Well, that didn't work out. Okay. Widen that up. Maybe I need to heat the water up more. I don't know. The alternative is that I just suck at this, and there needs to be a lot more swearing involved. But I mean, the water is still scalding hot. This fucking Denny's mug is thick. It's one of my favorite coffee mugs. Just have to work that around it. And of course, I keep leaning out of frame. So y'all have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I mean, to be fair, in your defense, I also don't know what I'm doing. Just trying to give a pirate his boots is all. Did I? I did. Well, that's good. That's great. I got it on there backwards. All right. It can be done. I just did it backwards. So let's see here. Let's push that on there. Nope. Oh. Well, thank you for the super chat. What did I miss? Drink the microplastic water and do it in an RFK voice. I actually don't have any Warbler in house. As a former cosplayer, since retired with an asterisk next to it, the only thing I have that is close to Warbler is 4mm EVA foam with it's got like glue embedded in it. And it's really good stuff, but it's just too thick for this task, I think. Okay, and one shoe. Are you the correct shoe? We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Come here, you little bastard. Nope, that's the wrong shoe. This water's too hot for the worm. I don't want to put my fingers in there because that might sanitize them. The worm doesn't like when my fingers are sanitized. He says it stops the messages from getting to his friends, and we don't like it when the worm's upset. He makes me do mean things to my children and talk about the time that I saw John kissing Marilyn Monroe. All right, I'm gonna go reheat this water at the advice of the council, and probably scald myself horrifically. So this is gonna be exciting time for everybody. Stay tuned. Took my grandkids to swim in the E. coli water so that they could get worms too and be pure like me. What I like best about working with this hot water is I know it's giving Anthony a goddamn conniption as I sit here and fiddle with this. Thank you. Sometimes I like to just dig around in the trash, experience what the family has going on. I wait for the neighborhood bear to stick his face into the trash, and I like to lick his tongue. It helps me stay clean. Rather than use a toothbrush, sometimes I just like to suck on used items out of the family garbage can, because we all share the same DNA. Is he part goat? No, he's fucked up from years of being a heroin addict and also having a worm eat his brain. And normally I wouldn't make fun of somebody's speech impediment. Like our former president, he had a speech impediment, and I did my best never to make fun of that, because Lord knows, fucking, it sucks to be made fun of something that you can't control. But also when you're such a big piece of shit like RFK there is, I make exceptions and also make fun of his stupid fucking voice. All right. That water should be close. Nope, we don't like copperheads. That water should be close. Ah, look at that, me knowing. Let me tell you, I know a thing or two about 3 minutes, ladies. Ooh, ooh, girl, she bubbling. Ooh, she bubbling. I am so glad that none of my goddamn cats came running over while I was doing that, because they would have bumped into me. I would have gotten scalded, or they would have gotten scalded. Just wouldn't have been a good time for everybody. Yeah. Metal staples are a good idea. Who makes fun of you? I'll fucking gut him. Hot. Hot. Get on there, you silly bitch. Scuba Steve flipper feet on him. Oh, the Jurassic Park 3 diver. What a useless figure. He came with the miniature Aqua Spinosaurus, right? All right. Okay. It's time for shoesies. Okay, so we're gonna do Right foot first. Left foot. All right. Hey, look at that, guys. Thank you to Ant for his commitment to harassing me, doing it the right way instead of letting me continue to struggle and possibly swear, possibly say some things about the Star Wars community that I wasn't ready to say in public. Also, motherfuckers got pirate boots now, bitch. What up, ho? I'm a pirate, motherfucker. Okay. Need to let those limbs dry out. But yeah, now we got some little pirate boots. So there, you guys got to see me struggle in real time. And he will be getting his finger jewelry made with gold. And I'll probably repaint his, because I have one of the masks that he wore in Clone Wars up here to go with him. Oh, speaking of pirates, I just knocked one down. But my Jude Law, Space Jude Law, in his fancy man handcuffs. Thank you, Nebula. He's still got to be painted. I think I'm going to try dyeing, possibly dyeing some of his stuff. I'm not 1000% sure yet how I plan on doing that. But he is going to get some different color, some different accessories. Where's his little mask? That actually could be one of those things that the cats got away with that I was talking about the other day. Because, you know, tiny little furry psychopaths, but also they're young and they're very excited about finding new things. Not John Boyega, though. John Boyega's pissed. He's just goofing. Kiati Mundi goofing. Now, what I should be doing is looking through my parts bin for a body for this Kit Fisto head, because I feel like he would make a great pirate or even a privateer. Much like the Mandalorians in Season 3. The Mandalorian privateers. And I've got this sweet double fucking Fortnite almost blunderbuss shotgun. And I was like, initially I was going to give it to him because I'm like, what a baddie. Not only does this dude have a fucking cannon, which could probably drop a small ship lashed to his arms, but also then to just hit him with the double smokestack of just pa-ta. But well, I have one of the miniatures from Celebration 3. They were giving away for free. Was like a promo for the Star Wars miniature tabletop game, and it's a Aqualish smuggler. And he's, you know, jacketed up and everything, but he's got the long tendrils and everything like that. And I thought of maybe making that to 118, but yeah, I'm not going to give him that gun. Ah, Jesus, that sucks. Joplin Tornado. Like Janis Joplin, or... I know what the Joplin... I'm just being shitty. But also, I like Janis Joplin, so I'm not being shitty. I think a few more belts on this guy, too, to really sell, like, the pirate-ness of him. I used to have the shirtless kit, Fisto. I actually found a photograph, and it is of horrible quality. It's an actual tangible photo, and I think I took the photo of my room from that door over there when I had Sightsee probably maybe will remember when I had my MTV. They filmed in here, and I had the Star Wars shelf over there. I took a photo while I was cleaning my room up, and you can see the shelf there, and you can see like the Spike, the 12-inch Spike doll that I had that they made me put amongst things, and the Clone Trooper. But it's such a terrible photo. But yeah, my shirtless Kit Fisto was over there at one point. Not to brag or anything. Easy little head swap. Pissed off looking Imperial. I just used a Dieter Stark head from the Lost World, popped his head off, and stuck it on this extra Cal Kestis fucking video game boy. Put it on his extra body, and I have a pissy looking Admiral. And for the leader of my Marines that have that tank that we built together, the Hiss tank, is I have a Rafe Fine head sculpt, and I'm going to use that because I really loved his character from 28 Days Later, and he was just the worst, and I loved the idea of him being in charge of a group of specialist Marines. But yeah, look at that, guys. We got a guy. We got him. We got his fucking... He's got boots, and they'll get weathered. I'll make him look all leathery and shit. And, yeah, we're pirating ahead. Oh, he absolutely. He'd probably be closer to $300 because I got the special edition with the removable knife inside the cross. So that would be extra money. They would charge extra for that. Let's stick that up there right now while we got a second. The boots the shoes were already on him. I used Vitruvian hacks for the boots. We're just goofing. Just Vitruvian hack boot goofing. Okay. And, oh, apparently that's where that's going. That's all right. We can always fix it later. Cut that off there later. That there is attached. I'll go back in and hit it with a little supergle. And that will hold it. But I think in the meantime, that'll do it. That'll do a government's work for the day, I think. So we've did a little world building, and let's see here. We've just attached something permanently on here, which is good. We love that. And it's cool. And we've got a figure who has been on my bench for a while, and I've been trying to come up with things. I think because I got I think I paid $100 for him, and I bought him for myself for my 16th birthday. But yeah, you're right. He'd be like $400 now. For certain. And I'm on unrelated note to anything really, I'm curious to figure out how I'm going to keep this correctly at the height that it's at. I think I'm going to have to cut material and shim it while I'm in the process of laying the new floor in here because this carpet's coming out. As soon as I can afford a dumpster, carpet's going to come out. I actually have enough snap together wood flooring in my garage, which was from a cabin project that didn't get finished, but I have all of that floating wood floor, which I can do this entire room with, and I'll have a nice hard floor that's not this carpet that's almost 50 years old. So that is a big plus that will be coming up, and also should make finding things a lot easier on the floor when I drop them because, excuse me, I'm me, and I know I drop things. So. Trying to think if there's anything like super quick I can do, but I don't think there is. I think I'm hindered by the time limits set upon me by the world of I have to work in the morning. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for the super chats. Thank you to my patrons over on patreon.com/FaminStudios. If you're new to the channel, you already haven't, hit like, hit subscribe, share it with a friend, share it with an enemy. Just copy the link to share it. That tells the algorithm at YouTube that, like, hey, this guy's video is something that somebody else should see because I want to share it with somebody. So we're going to do that, and that'll help the channel. But otherwise, you guys be well, be safe. I'll see everybody Friday, and as always, fucking too sweet me.